Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Safe Kids, Sane Parents, the Family Safety Podcast. I'm Jason. Richard wasn't able to join us tonight because of a family emergency, but we have with us Motorcop and the Happy Medic, a pair of first responders who've agreed to come join us and talk about safety from their unique professional perspective. Hey, guys, real quick, if you'd introduce yourselves.
Oh, you're pointing at me like I'm supposed to go first because I'm the elder. Is that it?
I need you to secure the scene.
Oh, you need me to secure the scene. Well done. All right. I am Motorcop from motorcopblog.com. Thanks for having me.
And I'm Justin Shore from thehappymedic.com, firefighter paramedic. Good to see you again, my old college friend.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I've known Justin from college, and Jason and I have never been in the same room before, but any friend of Justin's is a friend of mine. And we brought you on the show today because... we brought you on the show because, you know, you guys in the media, you're portrayed in the kind of action-oriented roles, the busting the cops, the running into burning buildings, the driving fast with the sirens. But one of the things I really appreciate the first responders do every day is you go see the shit that I don't have to. You see the results of our irresponsibility, of our mistakes, of some of the bad things that happen in life. And you guys carry that with you, which is why we're all drinking so heavily right now. And
yes.
I wanted to first just thank you guys, because I know you don't hear that thanks enough. And second, open a conversation about some of the things that parents can stop doing so you can see that shit just a little bit less often. And the one that I thought I'd kick off the conversation was texting and driving. Do you guys have any words of wisdom about that?
Motorcop, why don't you jump in on first on this one?
I don't really have an opinion about texting and driving. Oh, no, wait, I do. Hang on. Yeah, you know, it's been a lot here in California for 6 years, and I've seen so many ridiculous antics with people looking down away from the roadway in front of them. Honestly, there's two things I could cite for that. You could either do the actual violation of the cell phones, or I could actually cite you for speeding. What is the safe speed for not paying attention? What is exactly parking? Justin?
That speed is 0.
That would be a 0. I've actually written that citation for speed and won it in court. It makes no sense to me why you would not look in front of where your vehicle is traveling. It is one of the most unsafe things you can do in a motor vehicle, period.
And MC, if I can jump in here, it's not just about texting. It's about distracted driving. Now, the law specifically in California, I believe, refers to texting. That's the word? No. So real quick, I live in California. I don't understand the laws that I'm required to operate under. So informally,
because this is real important. You guys are echoing again, probably because you're in the same room with the mics. So before we get to that, because that's really important, could we find a solution real quick?
Yeah. I can be dark.
Let's try this. Unplug yours.
Because then it reverts to this mic on the computer.
Oh, that's no good. Or is that better?
No, unplug yours. What if we both were on one computer and just sat side by side and maybe held hands?
That works.
Ooh, hold hands.
Let's do that. I'm gonna disconnect and go sit next to Justin. Maybe in his lap. This makes it weird.
All right. The only
unplug the.
There we go.
What do you want me doing?
Unplug this so we can hear him.
All right. But will we get feedback on the mic?
No.
No?
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Say something.
Slide a bit, Nancy Lee.
Outstanding. A little hot EMT, spotter on first responder right here.
You're a cop. Figure it out.
I need an engineer to help me.
I'm not an engineer. I'm a captain.
Oh yeah, you're worthless.
Here, you come over here. Useless. It's because I'm white.
You're experiencing technical
There you go.
difficulties.
Right there.
Please.
All right. Oh, we have a problem. I can't reach my beer.
Standing by. Can't reach the beer. All right. Can you hear us both?
I can hear you both.
Fucking midget.
Beautiful. You do look like a fucking midget. And I mean that gently to our midget watching audience.
Hey, what's this phallic thing right next to me here?
That would be a cock.
Oh, wow. Took a weird turn.
Tyrion Lannister will be coming after you for that earlier comment. All right. So before I had to interrupt you, you were mentioning that you weren't even clear on what the law in California was about texting and distracted driving.
That's right. I was not clear about what the law was about distracted driving. MC had to put me straight because I thought the law was specifically about texting. But what I agree with on MC is it needs to pretty much be about being distracted, right, MC? You're not paying enough attention to the road.
Absolutely. But the thing of it is that that particular section in California that covers texting also covers reading text-based communication.
What about reading print-based communication? Say if I'm reading Jason Brick's newest novel, can I still get stopped for speeding?
Are you reading it on your phone?
No, I'm reading it in book form.
No, I absolutely stop you for speeding.
Or whatever electronic format I can find it in.
Are you a whore right now?
I'm pimping.
Oh,
yes.
you're
Our
pimping.
guest has books.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I believe we are his guests, by the way. You're a terrible guest. Yeah, so I've stopped writing on my citations. I've stopped writing the number section and then the verbiage of texting because people start pitching a bitch about the fact that they're not texting. I was reading an email. Okay, well, because they're not doing this with their thumbs, they think that they're complying with the law, when in fact that is not the case. Reading an email, reading a website, reading whatever. The other thing I hear a lot is the GPS. Well, I was looking at my GPS. Did you have your phone in your hand? Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'm going to write you for speeding, because there is no specific law. If you articulate it poorly, there's no specific law that prohibits you looking at your GPS on your cellular device while you're operating a motor vehicle. However, it is patently unsafe, and I will just simply cite somebody for speeding for that.
So the GPS is a really interesting question that it occurred to me to ask about. So you would advise that if you're interacting with your GPS, other than not looking and just listening to Siri tell you what to do, that you'd actually pull over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There have been a number of times I've used Siri and my iPhone for that exact thing, and I'll put an earbud in, or my wife will have her phone and she'll be doing all the work. But if I'm by myself, I've got my earbuds in.
I need to jump in here. Never let your wife navigate.
My wife's an
Ever.
excellent navigator.
I don't care.
She's an excellent navigator.
I've met your wife.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Why?
Just it's bad form because it distracts the driver. You're
If
looking
she
over.
says turn left at the next left, that's not distracting. That's
Did she mean the next left or the next right? Did she mean the next?
Did she say fucking left? Then she meant left.
That's still. It's
I mean,
dangerous.
perhaps our wives are different.
I think our wives are different.
They are
but
different.
Still, I
They
think
are
for your
different.
listening audience, Jason, taking advice from somebody in the passenger seat, probably not the best idea if it distracts you from operating the motor vehicle.
Well, he does live in Malaysia. I assume monkeys drive him wherever he goes.
On motor scooters.
On
Is
motor
that true?
scooters. Yeah, is that a thing?
Monkeys on motor scooters, usually they're not driving, but you'll see them.
All right.
Yeah, my mom got punched by a monkey when she was visiting.
Yeah, monkey passengers isn't as sexy.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, I went to Uber Malaysia and all it says is, ah! It was the weirdest thing. So, Jason, what else do you have for us?
Oh, so that was the big one that occurred to me, because that's something that not only the friends I have who are first responders have mentioned, but I've got a friend who's an insurance adjuster who went off the last time about how many fatal accidents he's had to see because of texting and driving in the last 5 years. I mean, everybody who's related to seeing the bad shit is absolutely on a tear about texting and driving because of how dangerous and how prevalent it is. So I definitely wanted to give you guys a chance to sound off on that. But what are some of the things that you guys see all the time that you wish we just quit doing?
Number one, Jason, would be not not restraining your children in their car seats properly. You know, Motorcop can cite from one side to the other the vehicle code regarding children in car seats. You really need to know what your state requires, your country requires. If you're in Malaysia and you have a monkey on a motorbike, does it need to be in a car seat?
Do you have to secure your monkey?
You have to secure the monkey, but you don't have to secure a child. There's actually now trying to convince people to get the child out of your lap and into a seatbelt.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
so that's a thing.
We're a little bit past that. You
You're
know,
just a tad.
if we can go in the Wayback Machine. Jason, were you with me and Chris Jordan when we went to get our New Mexico state driver's licenses?
I don't think so. I think I've already gone back to Portland.
Okay, so in New Mexico, they require that people from out of state, MC, watch a 1-hour video about the dangers of drunken driving.
Blood flows red on the highway?
No,
Yeah.
it was an actual video about people from New Mexico drunk driving, because apparently they had a problem with that. It wasn't necessarily the people coming from out of state that had a problem with it, but they made the people from out of state watch the video. It seems to me like for Jason in Malaysia, maybe it's not the people from outside the country that have a problem with this whole monkey in a car seat thing. Am I right? But Jason, for your watchers, the number one thing you can do is make sure your car seat is installed properly. And the best way to do that is to read the freaking instructions. Don't go to the local police station. Don't go to the local fire station. If you do go to either of those places, ask for someone who has a child of that same age. Don't go to the fire station and say, install my car seat. If none of those guys are dads, they're not going to know how. We get zero training on this.
Okay, now that may be true for fire. For police, at least where I'm at, that's not true. They actually send people to classes on how to properly install car seats.
But people or everybody?
No, we have a designated person that does car seat inspections and will install a car seat.
So in other words,
that's true of fire up here in Portland, or well, in Oregon where I usually live. That's true of the fire department there. They have somebody
right next to Malaysia
who are trained.
Your commute must suck balls.
Yeah, Portland to Malaysia.
It's a long commute, especially with a 5-year-old. But when Gabe was born, yeah, we went to the local fire department, and there was one guy there who was certified. But
yeah, so
if you
wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Did you have to give up the monkey seat, or do you have to make a choice between your child and a monkey?
I have a feeling this is going to be a theme throughout the show.
It might be.
Hashtag monkey seat.
Hashtag monkey seat. Perfect.
But Jason, what I want to get at is there might be people at the local police station or fire station that might be trained. But really, the best way to install that car seat properly is to read the instructions. It's really not that difficult if you just read the instructions. It really isn't.
I agree.
Yeah, and if your child is properly installed, if it's wintertime, take them out of the warm jacket. They need to be down to a single layer of clothing when they're in the car seat. They need to be in a booster seat until the proper age. They need to be restrained to the proper age. Now, when you cross from, for example, California to Nevada, the rules change completely. It's always good to be on the more conservative side, if you will. More buckles is always better in child restraint, in evening play, if you know what I mean.
NASCAR.
Hashtag monkey seat.
Hashtag monkey seat.
Yeah. So make sure you know what your local regulations are, and make sure you have read the installation instructions on all of the equipment you've installed.
I'm sorry, did you say
seat.
the insulation instructions?
Insulation, yes. You need to make sure you have at least an R3 rating around the car seat at all times. You thought it was a Freudian slip, but that doesn't happen often the time. Wait, what? What happened?
I have no idea.
You invited us, okay?
This is your fault, man. I should be asleep right now.
It's on me. It's our responsibility. Yeah. But that's a huge one. I think the know how to do your car seat and to have a car seat. That's actually something out here that you know, I try not to be all judgmental first world about shit, but you see mopeds with a family of 4, one of whom has a helmet.
And it's usually the monkey.
I'm going to go with the monkey.
It's the monkey, right? It's the monkey.
because they know. Although, you know, the thing that really freaks me out, and Motorcop will appreciate this, about half the people on motorcycles out here are wearing flip-flops.
Oh, shit.
And that just, they call it a degloving, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
I have seen a degloving.
Yep, many times.
Yeah.
Jason, I want to ask you something. Being outside the U.S., smoke detectors. Have you got smoke detectors in your residence now?
We do.
It's
yes.
the monkey. Hey, ah, your apartment's on fucking fire. Get out. Right? I mean, I assume that's
the sad thing is that we don't have a monkey. We have Coco the gorilla. And she has a hard time waking us up with the sign language.
Coco with the sign language is kind of like the Smokey the Bear of the Malaysias.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, it's the Malaysian.
But in all
Smokey the
honesty,
Bear.
Jason, have you got smoke detectors?
We have smoke detectors. I haven't really found out whether or not that's a code or whether it's because we're in a relatively high-end building with a lot of expats.
Probably the latter.
Fire is a big issue here because they love their fireworks, and a lot of things are made of old wood.
Yes. Now, how often do you change the batteries in your smoke detector? Hint, hint. Test question.
I do it on fall back day and on leap forward day. I can't remember that advice, but that's what I do.
Yep. Change your batteries twice a year every time you change your clocks. Good. I was worried that you wouldn't have them out there, that you'd say it's Malaysia. There's no fire here because of the humidity.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
That makes sense.
One of the cool things about Malacca, which is the city I live in, is there's sizable Malaysian population, which is mostly Islamic, and a sizable Indian Tamil population, and a sizable Chinese Buddhist population, and a sizable Western expatriate population, all of whom have their various religious holidays. So on any given weekend, somebody's lighting up fireworks for some reason.
Sounds like the deep south. That's what it sounds like.
I said fireworks, not shotguns, but yeah, fireworks constantly. You know, my wife actually, this was 6 months ago, was like, "Ooh, fireworks must be Tuesday." But nice. That does lead to there's a lot of fires here, and a lot of people do most of their cooking in deep frying their dinners. So there's a lot of burns.
Mm-hmm.
And medical care here is not. It is not to first world standards. The two hospitals that you should go to for anything broken bone or higher are in Bangkok and Singapore.
I'm sorry, where?
Yeah. Would you demonstrate real quick, Motorcop?
Yes. Capital of Thailand.
Exactly. And Singapore. Interesting, and this is a bit of an aside, but the reason that Bangkok has such excellent medical facilities is that wasn't the case until about 5 years ago. And from what I've been told, is because the prince, as a child, was medically fragile.
Prince?
So the king.
Prince
was
why was the purple one there?
Was it the purple rain that made him fragile?
I think so. You know, his.
Are dogs crying right now?
I don't know. I think we should put on our red berets and find out.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
That was 4 deep. That was I think going 5 deep is danger. If we bat dance, we're in
and we shouldn't throw him diamonds or pearls.
No. Oh. You broke the internet just now. Hashtag. See, there's no hashtag because it's the symbol that's not on the keyboard.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
So what's another one, guys? What's another thing that we should just knock the heck off?
Jason, if I can jump in here, the one thing I would love parents to stop doing is asking me as a paramedic to have their child checked out.
Oh, I got a good follow-up for that. Do your thing. Do your thing.
If you want me to check out your kid, they're fine. They were fine before I got there, before you called 911. Let me give you a quick list of when you should call 911 for your child. They're not breathing, they're not waking up, or their skin is changing colors. Other than that,
I had two of those.
You had two of the three
in the last week and a half.
You did. Anything other than those three can probably be handled with fluids, food, or rest. Or worst case scenario, call your general practitioner or your primary physician. if you call me out because Junior's got a toothache and you just want him checked out, there's nothing I can really do for you.
And more importantly, there's somebody else halfway across town that you can do something for, but you're busy at this person's house.
Yeah, we'll worry about that one later.
Yeah.
I don't like to worry about the next patient along. My paramedic supervisor is to worry about the next patient. My paramedics need to worry about the patient they have. But if Mrs. Jones just says, "Oh, Johnny, you threw up once. How about some juice, buddy? You'll be okay." Then we don't have a problem. If you call 911 because Johnny barfed, and I get there and Johnny says, "I didn't like dinner," who's the fool? Yeah, so that's one of the big issues I have. MC, you got something to jump in on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things I would like parents to stop doing is, oh God, how can I put this? Stop being shitty parents.
That's a little vague. Can you be more specific?
Sure. If your kid won't go to school, you don't need to call 911 for that. You should pick little Johnny up by his ear and take his ass to school.
That seems pretty straightforward. Does that actually happen?
All the blessed time. Well, not during the summer, because they're off during the summer.
During the summer.
So no, not all the time.
Jason, what about in Malaysia? Do you have an issue with kids playing hooky or telling mom, "I don't want to go to school," or is it pretty much you're going to get slapped with one of these flip-flops from the scooter?
Well, to be clear, in Malaysia, there is much less not going to school, much less upfront child misbehavior, because the smacking your child around is just part of the culture here.
I like it. Let's move to Malaysia.
Yeah, we got monkeys and smacking the kids,
and we already got an in. Yeah,
I'm not seeing the argument against.
Yeah, so it's a different time. You know, like my brother says, it's a different culture. No better, no worse, just different. But yeah, it's and then the things that you see child misbehavior here, of course, because if you smack your child around, what that does is it raises not necessarily a better behaved child, but a sneakier, more cunning child.
Yeah. Now, real quick, Jason, is Malaysia where that kid got caned for spitting on the sidewalk? Was that kid?
Singapore, just south.
Singapore, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
That kid was kind of
office privacy plan for grown-ups.
Just into caning.
Yeah, I'd heard that about you. I saw your internet browser history once.
I haven't changed since college.
But that's the point that maybe one could do an entire episode on.
Yes, Motorcop, you have a question?
Yeah. Why did I not know this before we were sitting so close?
Aren't you the police officer? Aren't you the one who's supposed to be able to read people's motivations?
He's a soul crusher. He has a very limited scope of, how do you say, observation?
Yeah, he's not driving or in a car right now, so yeah. I'm up.
Plus,
off the clock.
Yeah, we're off the clock.
Excellent. But both of those tie into something really important, which is basic, getting some training as a parent. Every parent has their talents and the things that they learned well from their parents, and they also have stuff they just don't know. Like, to your point, Justin, enough medical knowledge to know that sometimes kids throw up, and having a little bit of a juice box and a rest and keeping an eye on the temperature and stuff means you probably don't need to call the fire department about it. Or getting some training on how to get your kid who's acting up to go to the damn school anyway.
Jason, let me run it down for you this way. We have something in the fire department we term as FMS, First Mother Syndrome. What it means is that MC's laughing. Jason, what it means is that a mom with one child foresees every variation from norm as an emergency.
Yes.
When you get two children on board, the second child, they're barfing. Let's see if they're still barfing in the morning, and then maybe we'll call the doctor. Third child barfs. It's kind of like here's some paper towels.
Try not to get it on your PJs.
Try not to get it on your PJs. Exactly. But in all fairness, for that first parent out there that's worried that something's going wrong, like I said, variations in consciousness, those are the big ones. Kids are going to barf. Kids are going to cough. Kids are going to change colors. It just happens.
Yeah.
Call your doctor. If you don't have insurance, get insurance and call your doctor. If you live in a country that doesn't require insurance, call your general practitioner. They're probably around the corner. You can get seen for free tonight. It's really that simple.
You know, there's a great resource I want to bring up right now. It's a book called Baby 411 that was written by a parenting blogger and an MD, a pediatrician. And the attitude I like that they have on that is that about 85% of the book is, this thing happened. Oh, that's not a problem. About 10% of the book is, this other thing happened. Oh, you know, that's not a problem now, but watch for these things because it could become a problem. And then 5% of it is, this thing happened. Oh, that's a problem. Do these things immediately and call this guy now. And it's just the best book I've seen out there about addressing that first mom's problem, as you say, where
most issues. No, I'm obviously not a medic, but I got 3 kids, so I have what's it called, experience.
4.
Well, I have 4. I have an
Did you forget about the 4th?
I have a 4th now. The 4th one is my last one, but she's 17. It's an exchange student, so you know.
It's a little TARDIS doctor-y.
Yeah, there you go. It's very
Tiny,
very Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Very Doctor Who.
Yep.
But I know enough to know that most things aren't that big a deal. That's what it comes down to. Most things aren't that big a deal. When you take the drama out of what you consider an emergency, then you're basically left with, well, this is a weird thing. Let's kind of see how it plays out, and you'll be fine. Not a medical doctor.
No.
Yeah, not a medical doctor. Yeah.
You're not required to get that disclaimer,
oh, I'm not.
By the way.
Well, then do what I say.
But Jason, the one thing I want to jump in on, the one thing parents need to be looking for the most is prescription drug abuse.
Oh, I was going to say ancient aliens.
No, you don't need to look for those. They're everywhere.
Aliens.
So a lot of parents are worried about the pot. Is that what they call it? The pot?
The pot?
The cocaine, the methamphetamine.
Well, good news, they're all misdemeanors in California, so
cocaine.
Smoke up, Johnny.
But apparently, if mom's got some extra OxyContin laying around, it doesn't count them. Junior can just go to town on those.
Yeah.
This goes back to my point of not being a shitty parent.
Not being a shitty parent, exactly. I have seen more kids in trouble on prescription medications than I have on illicit drugs.
Oh,
now that
shit,
doesn't mean you don't need to be on the lookout for Johnny with a crack pipe. But if you do have prescription drugs in the house, you need to know what they are, how many you have, and how many you should have left. And your kids need to know that those are yours and yours alone. That they should never take medications that are prescribed to other people, regardless of their condition. Bobby hurt his knee and got these drugs. I hurt my knee, so I took 3 pills. I felt great. That's drug abuse. You need to be on the lookout for that as a parent. That is the number one thing I can pass on to your viewing audience, aside from MC's hair looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the fact that if there are a large amount of prescription meds in the house, from a law enforcement perspective, to me, it sends up red flags that perhaps mom and dad are abusing. And if mom and dad are abusing, Johnny and Susie are abusing as well.
I learned it from you, all right?
Exactly.
I learned it by watching you.
All the things I've learned in my life came from TV.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah. You know, from an experiential standpoint, my wife has a psychiatric diagnosis and is on a fairly large suite of psychotropic meds. We keep that in a safe, and my son doesn't know the combination. You know, and I'd encourage any parent that's got prescription drugs to go ahead and keep it in a safe. You can get one at Home Depot for like $30.
Certainly.
Did you throw the word experiential at us while we've been drinking?
It's his show. $5 words.
Why would he do that to us?
I apologize, Jason. On our podcast, we have a $5 word rule.
So do I owe you guys $5? Is that how that works?
As soon as you reach $6 word,
that's a thing. He should owe us $5. Yeah.
Or a 5-star
review
on
iTunes.
iTunes.
Where you guys are?
Oh, so you did? Yeah, I made him a swirler. What else you got, MC, for the parents out there?
For the parents out there, you know, I'm going to take this back to one of the topics we talked about for, well, I would say first responders, but I know that nuts you up.
I hate that word.
You hate that word. For those of us in civil service, can I say civil service without pissing you off?
Sure.
For those of us in civil service, very simply, slow the fuck down. The number one killer in fatal crashes is speed. It's not
death.
It's not well. That's the result.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
See, $6 word.
Yeah. It may be a combination of things, but most of the time, the collisions that I've investigated, speed is almost always a factor. If you slow down, it gives you more perception and reaction time. If you increase the distance, a following distance between cars. So if a car in front of you is going the speed limit on the freeway of 65, but you're giving them a good 4-second buffer, you have a much better chance of surviving.
Whoa.
Oh, please tell me. Oh, are we going to argue on somebody else's
No.
show? We always argue on our show.
What if the monkey is driving?
I didn't consider
This
the monkey.
is an international audience.
That's true.
They got much
That's
faster
true.
reaction times than us, man. Don't even worry about them.
Wait. Are in Malaysia kilometers or miles per hour?
Kilometers.
Well, I don't know what the hell that means. Seriously, come on, man. That's you're talking gibberish right now.
Just keep it to 70 and keep your flip-flops on. I think that's the translation that we can pass along.
There you
to
go.
MC.
Yeah. What's actually both hilarious and alarming here is, so the city of Singapore is much better off financially than Malaysia. And they have extremely rigid controls on who gets to own a car. So if you own a car in Singapore, you're really, really wealthy by American standards. And then you come to Malaysia, where cost of living is about 1/3 what it would be in America. And so a traffic fine, a speeding ticket in Malaysia, to a Singaporean who can own a car, is literally like $10. So you've got these Singaporeans just
So what I'm getting out of this story?
Here's my $10.
Yeah. So what I'm getting out of the story is let the fucking monkey drive.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
But safety, with the child properly restrained, with the working smoke detector at home, and the prescription drugs in a locker for all of you playing at home.
Or you could give the monkey all of the prescription drugs.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. And for anybody playing bingo at home, knee brace for the win. Yes. Jason, one last thing I want to touch on before you get too far in. Speaking of knee brace, athletic injuries. Ice. Ice. Little Johnny hurt his knee on the
I'm so disappointed
pitch.
in you right now.
Football pitch.
No, you didn't go with the ice baby. I can't fucking believe you let that shit go.
You know why? Because
Ding, 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 ding.
Rob wouldn't like it.
Oh my god. Oh jeez.
Yes. For those of you not in the know, just Google ice baby. Athletic injuries, Jason. Ice baby is all you.
Thank you.
Oh, I did it.
Thank you.
That was impressive. That was like psychological embedding of. That was
I'm
like
a
Inception.
fucking Jedi.
Wow.
Don't fuck with me.
Jedi cop. Yeah. Ice for the injuries. If it still hurts after 24 hours, contact your local general practitioner or physician. But really, if Johnny hurts his knee, don't call me 3 hours later and say, Johnny hurt his knee on the soccer pitch or playing football or tennis. All I'm going to do is go to your freezer, put peas on it, and then ask you to sign a form that's going to cost you $400.
You know, on that point, back in a former life before I was a writer, I ran a martial arts school for better part of 10 years. And
I've seen that.
Number of people out there, parents and even experienced athletes, who think that heat is the answer. You should put them in a hot tub or put a hot compress on an athletic injury.
Not for at least 48 hours or after consulting a physician. No.
Exactly.
If you have a ligament, if you have a ligamental or soft tissue injury, applying heat. I'm sorry, MC. If you want to read a book or look at something else,
hang on.
Talk
go
about
ahead.
this. Go ahead. If you have a ligamental or soft tissue injury, applying heat will actually introduce more. Really? Introduce more injury to the area. You need ice, you need cooling, and you need the simple things. Immobilization, ice, and elevation to reduce the swelling. There you go. MC, you can start listening now. after 48 hours, if you still have discomfort, a lot of people with a known, for example, I have a known back injury. Whenever it starts acting up, I put a little bit of heat on it and it feels better, only because I've got experience with that injury. And my physician told me if it happens again, put heat on it. If I have a new injury or a new feeling, I put ice on it. I put cold on it, 15 on, 15 off, until I can talk to my doctor about it.
Wait, so if you're feeling gregarious, do you put ice on your head?
Gregarious.
Yeah.
$6 word.
No, that's a $5 word. Oh, God damn it. Now we're even with him. He doesn't know
I'm a
anything.
fireman. $3 words,
Son
dude.
of a bitch. All right, I got
$3 words.
Do I have to cook dinner and do the dishes now?
No, you're a cop. You can't cook.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
I can order the shit out of some pizza, though.
Hell yeah, you can.
Yeah, buddy. You know, I had one other point, and now I can't remember it because of the whole shtick we were just doing.
That was a shtick?
That was a shtick.
We're like the Statler and Waldorf of
or Wardorf
of public safety agencies.
Or wait, is that which one of us is Worf?
Statler and Worf. That needs to be a thing.
No,
I'm totally Riker.
No, you are not fucking Riker.
I am Riker.
No.
He hasn't got the beard, man. You don't have the beard.
He doesn't have the beard. You can't use beard as a requirement for Riker.
I'm pretty
talking
sure
about season 5.
Oh, I can grow it a little bit better than you, sweetheart. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Fairness for your audience.
I remember.
This is 18 growth.
Oh my good God. Yeah. All right. So we're talking about safety, and I'm gonna get a little Dr. Phil. You ready? I'm gonna
hold on.
Yeah. And go. Talk to your kid. Just talk to your kid.
Wait.
Be communicative.
That's uncomfortable for me.
I don't give a shit. Talk to your child. I don't care how old the kid is.
I don't feel like a parent.
Nah, well then I hate to break it to you. They're slim, but you should talk to your child.
My dad never talked to me, and I turned out fine.
No, you didn't. You're kind of a shitbag.
Okay. I'll go back to my boring job and ignore my child, who will likely have 3 children before 20. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Go ahead with your point.
No, there's a lot wrong with that, by the way. There's a lot wrong with that.
Go ahead with your point.
Yeah. Take the time and interact with your child. Have a conversation. I mean, I have kids. They're almost not.
Have
biological. I have 4 kids.
Thank
One
you.
is 17. One's going to be 9 in a couple of weeks, and 2 of them just turned 6 and 4. And I have conversations with them all the time. To your kid, be involved in their lives. The more involved you are, the more likely it is when shit goes sideways, they will respond to you. They will talk to you and they will ask you questions. Dad, Mom, Johnny or Susie said X, Y, and Z at school. What should I do about that? But if you're kind of this, guy on the mountain that nobody can talk to, or you're gruff, or you're agitated, you're angry, and you get home, whatever.
I am Groot.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Hey, yeah.
No, I haven't.
What the?
I haven't seen it.
I have to take him inside to watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Don't tell me what I have and have not seen. He doesn't listen to me, which is kind of my point here.
See how we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acting.
So we've lost the video feed on you guys there, so hang tight for a sec. But that's a huge point about.
But we just did something amazing on video.
Accessible. Yeah, but being present, being accessible, not having your kid think that if he's got a problem, that the trouble they're going to get in from bringing it to your attention is going to outweigh the benefit of getting your counsel, of getting your help. That's a huge thing that I think a lot of parents, I think we all know, but a lot of parents have a problem balancing. That's
an excellent point. The word you used with counsel, seeking counsel. That you think of a counselor in terms of somebody from a high school, a guidance counselor. Does that guy or that girl do anything to benefit your life? Sure, maybe once in a blue moon, but they're kind of, I mean, no offense to the counselors in the audience, but
no offense intended to the counselors in the audience.
Yeah, kind of a joke. I mean, that's the understanding from what I get from the kids these days.
Ooh,
is
on the street.
On the street, they say, you know what? Johnny Law, my guidance counselor steered me wrong. And I'm like, I get it, man. I get it. Let's rap.
True that.
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
No.
Okay.
No, nobody talks to me. I'm a motor officer. Everybody hates me.
True.
And I sleep like a baby.
Yep. But Jason, it really goes back to you need to be a sounding board, for lack of better things. You don't need to be your kid's friend, but you also don't need to be their jailer.
Hang on. Let's talk about that real quick.
Oh,
there
I seem to have
you did.
Woken something
You did.
Motorcop.
There are the prevalent thought in today's society, in my opinion, is that parents want to be their kid's friend. And I have a message for those folks. That's not your fucking job. Your job is not to be your kid's friend. Your job is to be their parent. Those are two distinctly different things. I had fantastic parents who are now some of my two of my best friends. They were not my best friends when I was growing up. They were excellent parents. They were strict, but they had reasons for everything. I knew what the rules were, boundaries, if you will. I knew what those things were, expectations. We've talked about that on a previous show.
On our show, yeah.
But I knew what was expected of me, and I knew what was the right and the wrong thing to do. And when I stepped over that line, if I didn't meet that expectation, I knew that there was going to be hell to pay. And I'm okay with discipline, and I'm okay with consequence. I think those two words in today's vernacular aren't used enough because people want to be their kid's friend. Oh, I want to connect with little Susie. Well, little Susie is going to grow up to be a whore because you're not laying down enough boundaries. And that's the way it is. Little Susie and little Johnny are going to take your fucking Vicodin and they're going to sell it for $20 a pill, and they're now a drug dealer. But you're their friend, so good job. Well done. You're a shitty parent, which goes back to my original point of don't be a shitty parent.
Yeah, it really all boils down to don't be a shitty parent.
It really does.
You can't be your kid's best friend. You can't be your kid's jailer. There's a middle point that you and your kids need to find. I've found that with my two children, ages 9 and 7, there's a different place for me with each child. One follows rules much more than the other. So I'm kind of more authoritarian with the one that doesn't follow the rules as much. And it really takes a parent that's paying attention, Jason, that understands that when work is done, needs to be done and it's family time. You need to know what their interests are. You need to know what they're doing. You need to be an active part of their lives so that when little Bobby comes knocking at the door, hey, is Sally home? Can she come and play? Hey, screw you, pal. Take a hike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
just simply
that's
being
pretty much what it boils down to.
In the lives. And one piece that I've struggled with that I've noticed other parents that I know have struggled with is often the ego component of that. But before we get into that, we've lost your video feed. Can you confirm that your camera's still on?
Yes, we can confirm that. We see you.
Okay, but can you see
us?
We see us.
Okay, so maybe it's just on me. I hope the viewers can still see you guys. But for example, if you got a parent
and by the way, we look amazing.
You all there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes,
we're
go
good.
ahead.
Go ahead.
If you got a parent who's who's a valedictorian, 4.0 master student going on to get a PhD, with a child who's not necessarily academically inclined or talented, you can sometimes get friction about the grades, and kids should take their schooling important, but when that conversation becomes about the parent's ego, about, oh my lord, I'm a crappy parent, I'm a shitty parent because my son's not getting a 4 like I did. Or as a police officer, oh my god, my child just broke the law. And I'm a cop, what a shitty parent must that make? Or my personal one where, I've been a martial artist and athlete, oh my god, my kid's overweight, what a shitty parent does that make me? All of that stuff isn't your kid's problem.
Jason, let me put this in another.
Yeah.
Let me put this in another scope for you, if I will. I'm a paramedic. My kid just broke her leg. What a crappy paramedic am I?
Exactly.
What does one have anything to do with the other?
Yeah. And those,
why does my kid have anything like me?
You know, I think I've seen in a lot of interactions over the years, in the interaction where it's clear that what's happening is the parent is dealing with their own issue that I think all parents are dealing with, that we all basically think that we're totally unqualified and making this up as we go along.
No,
And just wait
absolutely.
for it to
You
figure
know,
it out.
I've got to your point about specifically about I'm a police officer, but my kid just broke the law. There is a guy that does not work in my jurisdiction, but is a police officer, and his kid has been contacted innumerable times. What I want people people in the audience of your show to realize is that medics, firefighters, cops, we're all human. We're all just regular folks. Just because I'm good at my job doesn't mean I don't suck as a parent. Now, do I think that every cop's kid should be stellar? I kind of do. Because that's our job, is to enforce the law. Hang on. I'm not done.
All right.
I'm not
go
done.
ahead.
I'm not done.
I'll disagree with you later.
Yeah, and that's fine. But because we're so focused on following the rules, if you will, oftentimes, particularly in law enforcement, it is a predilection for cops to be hyper-focused on their job to the detriment of their family. So does that mean that because I'm super cop, I'm going to have the perfect kid? Nope. Perhaps super cop's a shitty parent.
Or more the quote, because of how many hours that most of the cops I know end up working just
exactly
parent, either at work or asleep.
Exactly correct. We are just as human as everybody else. It doesn't mean that we don't have our faults. It doesn't mean that we don't fall short in certain areas. It doesn't mean we're good parents.
Yeah.
That's
what
I
think you generalize that to parents in general, where I think most parents, if you fall into that trap of beating yourself up and by extension beating your kid up because you feel like you screwed up as a parent, instead of making the interactions with your kid more about how you can succeed as a parent, how you can help them grow into a good person, about how you can do your responsibility as a parent and make your own doubts and fears not your kid's problem. I think that's one of the keys to not being a shitty parent and to being approachable and a resource for your kids rather than something that they don't want to interact with or something they feel like they can't interact with.
Right on the point, Jason. You don't need to apply your own sphere of success to your child. I went to college. I got a degree. I'm using my degree. It's successful. If my kid says, I want to be an auto mechanic, I don't want to go to college, fine. Be the best auto mechanic you can be.
Yes.
I want to be a chiropractor. Fine. Be the best chiropractor you can be, but understand it's not a science. Anyway, the point being is that you cannot take your fear and your understanding of success and apply it to your child. You have to take your child's sphere of understanding of success and apply it to their lives. If my daughter doesn't make captain by 38, is she a failure? No. But I did. Dad didn't make captain until he was 40, but I'm only bringing that up as an example.
Oh, God, you're a dick.
Point being, if my daughter never becomes a firefighter or a paramedic, is she a failure? By my scale, traditionally, yes. I haven't taught her what I know best. She hasn't done what she's been shown.
Dude, I pray to God my kids don't become cops.
Yeah, the littlest one with the headband as a cop, I would
are
fear
you
her.
shitting me? Actually, that's a good point.
Oh
my smallest child would make a fucking killer cop.
Literally,
total euphemism.
Literally,
no.
That's a movie title that we're looking for. But we're coming on to an hour, so I just want to wrap up with a couple of things. Some things that parents have mentioned to me freak them out. That I get the idea don't happen as often. They could be spending more of their time looking at things like having a good car seat, slowing down, putting the texting away, locking up the prescription drugs. One of the big ones is stranger abduction. That's the nightmare scenario for most parents. You guys have both been at this, what, 10 years, 15?
20,
17
and change.
17, 20. How many stranger abductions have you actually been even remotely a part of?
Zero.
Zero.
Both of us, zero.
None.
Exactly. And so while we got parents all worried about stranger danger, we've got all kinds of programs you can buy, unscrupulous martial arts teachers charging $1,000 for workshops on how your kids can not be abducted by a stranger. It's extraordinarily rare, and we should be spending our time on not texting when we're driving, on making sure that the soccer coach checks out, on making sure that we replace the batteries in our smoke detectors. All that mental energy we're supposed to spend on that other thing, we should be focusing on this instead.
Yes, and I would say Weird Uncle Charlie is weird for a reason.
Yes.
Agreed.
And if you have an Uncle Charlie, warning sign. Yeah, sorry, Charlie. I have an Uncle Charlie. I apologize.
I worked in a jail setting for about 5 years, and we used to have a joke that if you looked at somebody's, it's called a head card. We got the photo of an inmate's head, and we would try to guess the charges that they were in jail for, and we called them Chester the molester, right?
Yeah, yep.
Child molesters. You could pick them out of a fucking crowd. 9 times out of 10, that guy's a child molester. Boom, and you knew it.
It's a familiar more than anything else.
Absolutely.
Like you said, Jason, that people are worried about Johnny getting picked up at the soccer field by a crazy guy in a van. No, he's more likely to be killed in an ill-fitting car seat or a house with a non-working smoke detector or by a parent checking a text message. See how I brought that full circle?
Man, you're good.
You're welcome.
You're good.
What are some other misconceptions like that you guys bumped across? Anything else that parents are spending way too much time asking about, worrying about, when they could be focusing on these other things that are statistically much more likely and statistically less serviced?
Honestly, I think the whole thing can simply come back to connecting with your kid.
You have a child. Talk to them.
Yeah.
They have wants, desires, fears, concerns.
And
learn
honestly,
them. Trust them. Move on.
Most of them have awesome and interesting things to say too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Show them Firefly when aged appropriate.
Yes.
Star Wars.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Anything else? Remind folks the blog that you guys have and the podcast you guys put up.
Well, first off, I'm disappointed that we have not seen your Malaysian monkey yet.
I'm a foreigner. I don't.
They don't issue you monkeys in the airport.
An expat monkey license is very hard to come by.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
That was a microaggression right there.
All right, fair enough. Well, my name is Motorcop, and you can find me at motorcopblog.com. Just Google Motorcop, and you will find me. I usually come up, and I used to say the top 3, but I did it the other day, and I came up number 1. And we've been talking about this lately.
You need to do it from a computer that's not yours, because the way Google works is it searches. My name's Justin Shore from thehappymedic.com. Which, if you search that at any public library, I'm number 1.
All right, you know what I'm going to do, bitch? I'm going to go to the fucking library. I'm going to look up Motorcop, and I'm going to come up number 1. I'm going to come back. I'm going to rub your fucking face in it.
That's fine, because you will finally attain my level.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Our podcast, by the way, is the Crossover Show, which you can find on iTunes, and it's basically us kind of doing this kind of shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much life through the monocle spectacles. Not monocle.
No, neither one of us has a monocle.
We should both have a monocle.
Where the fuck is my monocle?
I don't know.
I want a monkey with a monocle now. Thanks a lot,
That's
asshole.
pretty much the Crossover Show. It's a fireman and a cop just arguing about life. You can find that at Crossover Show.
Sure.
On iTunes.
There you go.
Go to motorcopblog.com and just search podcast or Crossover Show. Go to the Google machine and just put in Crossover Show.
There's nobody else doing it.
And just go nuts. And if you come across some crazy Malaysian porn, not my fault.
Yeah, if there, it's definitely not us. Nope, we don't have monkeys. Much to our chagrin. Really.
I know. I'll try to bring you some. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and everybody listening, check us out next time. And remember, you are stronger than you think you are.